I hate to see it happen. You hate to see it happen. Yes, you do. Hey, YouTube. Um, this should be a pretty quick video. I'm not about to eat while making these videos. Why did I do that? Yeah, this should be pretty quick though. So tomorrow I got a chemistry exam, and so I am currently struggling to figure out the current concepts and problems. Um, so I decided to text the chemistry group chat because you would think that they would help me. No, they didn't. So it said about like 8 people read my message. No one responded. I'm not the type to be like, oh, so you respond or so you read my message, but you didn't respond or whatever. Because I don't care. You could be really doing something at the time. I mean, that's kind of what happens to me. Like sometimes I'll have the time to read a message, and sometimes I'll just forget, or sometimes I'll be busy like directly afterwards or something like that, and then I'll forget altogether, right? Instead of like directing or forgive me, instead of just um, forgetting directly, right? Um, I'm sorry, I was ironically I was just reading a text that my mom, not my mom, um, goodness, I cannot talk today, and my friend sent. Anyways, so as I was saying, I texted the group chat. No one responded, but you know what's interesting? There are a bunch of so the people taking the class. It's a mix of majors of pre-nursing, biology. I'm biology and math, but so technically biology. So it's pre-nursing, biology, and then just people that need to take a natural science, right? And the majority of those people are people that want to be entrepreneurs in the future. I don't know what you call that major, entrepreneurship, I guess. I don't know. So, like I said, a lot of people read my message but didn't respond. I'm assuming they're just ignoring me because I figured, if we have the test literally tomorrow, y'all would respond to me, right? But no one responded. So there, it's pure ignorance. That's what I'm going to assume, whether I'm right or wrong. So it's interesting because those that are majoring in bio, they're the nerds of the class, excluding myself because I don't really know too much of what's happening in chemistry, and our teacher's not a great teacher. The girls that are the women that are majoring in pre-nursing, and the men that are majoring in entrepreneurship, they're they're majoring in pre-nursing and entrepreneurship. I'm saying, I'm quoting it because the pre-nursing major, it's kind of it's it's the major that they take when you're not really here. You're not really at college for the education, right? The women take that major when they're not here for the college. They're not here for the education. They're not here for the degree. And evidently, entrepreneurship is the major that the men take when they're not here for the actual education. They're not here for the degree either. So it's really interesting because there are, like I said in the previous video, I consider college, at least from my experience, it's really just high school 2.0. Um, I actually I say it because now the more I think about it, I'm saying it because there's not too many people here on campus, right? And in your high school, there's not really too many people at your high school, right? Like if it was a college like Temple University, I'm sure I would never see like the same person every day. But here at Cheney, I see the same person every day. So yeah, it's really like high school mainly for that reason. More so, I mean, also because there are some people here that are still extremely immature, but that's not the point. I'm saying that so this is like college or high school 2.0, meaning that there's gonna be your cool kids, there's gonna be your nerds, and there's gonna be like the kids that nobody really hangs around, right? So there are definitely nerds in this class, and there are definitely the cool kids in this class. The cool kids evidently being the pre-nursing majors and the entrepreneurship majors. And so the nerdy women are friends with the pre-nursing women, as the nerdy men are friends with the entrepreneurship men, right? I'm quoting unquoting because they're not friends. The pre-nursing women just need a passing C to pass the class. The entrepreneurship men just need a passing C to pass the class. So who do they become friends with? The people that actually know what they're, what the class is about. The nerdy people. And it's so sad because now the nerdy men and women believe that they're just as cool as the cool kids, just of relative, like just by relativity of who they're friends with, right? Being the cool kids. When in all actuality, like I just said, you can kind of put two and two together and understand that the cool kids, the pre-nursing women, aren't friends with the nerdy women because they're friends. They're friends with the nerdy women because they need a passing C. Same with the men, respectively with the men, right? And so it's sad to see because the nerds won't answer my question, nor will the cool kids answer my question, right? And this is like it brings me back to kickball. It brings me back to kickball, right? It's similar to when the leaders, right? So in kickball, you have two leaders, and you have like a group of like 15 students, 15 kids. You know, the leaders choose one by one of who they want on their team. The leaders, I compare the leaders to the cool kids. The first couple choices that the leaders choose are the actual good people. The good people I would consider like the good people at kickball. They actually know how to play the game. The people that actually know how to play the game, I would consider also the cool kids. Then you get then it kind of weeds out, or it whittles down to like we like then like the last six people. So now the leaders get like three choices apiece. The last six people I consider the nerds, you know, and it's so sad because really in kickball, when it gets down to like the last eight, last six, it's very sad to see. It's very sad to watch. It's hard on the eyes because when you're like when you're not the last person chose, but you're like I don't know the fifth to last person chose. It's very sad because you think you have enough leniency to clown the last four people because you weren't the last, but you were the fifth to last, right? So it's like I'm I'm not the worst player because there's four other people that are worse than I am. But in all actuality, the only reason why you're chosen is just that. It's not because you're good, it's just because you're better than the last four, right? That's the only reason you're chosen, right? Um, I say this because that's how I was, Like I was actually don't get it twisted because I was good at kickball uh, in like third, fourth, fifth grade. Then I went to South Carolina. It was a whole shebang. I gained like 40 pounds, and then I came back. I came back sixth grade looking like the super chubby guy in Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. So I was terrible at kickball ever since. I had to rely more on my power than I did my speed. That's a whole thing. But I'm trying to say that I was more so like the fifth to last person being chosen. So I thought I had some leniency to clown the other four. But every time, I'd be up to bat, no, everybody would gain closer because they knew I was terrible, right? And that's how I kind of see the nerds. Not saying that they're terrible, but I'm saying that they're not cool because they're friends with the cool people. They're they're just being used, Like the only reason why you're being, like I said, the only reason why they're even friends is because the cool kids need a passing grade, you know? And it's so sad to see because you see the nerds, like sometimes I'll go to class instead of like being on Zoom and seeing it virtually, sometimes I actually walk to, the building and go to class. And I'll be there and I'll see like I'll see the like because there's usually a group of people that that are usually there, I guess. And those group of people being there's like usually two pre-nursing women that sit in like the back of the class, and then there's like a nerdy girl that sits like one row in front of them, right? And then there's usually the other nerdy men that just sit in the corner by themselves. So Usually, sometimes I'll see all three of the nerdy, like all three of the girls talk to each other. But then sometimes, because the pre-nursing women sit like behind the girl, sometimes I'll just see those two people talk, and then they'll be snickering in the back like whatever women do, I don't know, and they'll kind of be looking in the general direction of the nerd, and I'm thinking, oh no, she's being made fun of for sure, and it's like she doesn't know, like the nerdy girl does not know that she's being clowned, and it hurts me, it pains me because it's like, they're so naive. Like they got brains, but they little do they know about. I'm sorry, I'm looking through my notebook as if that's relevant to whatever I'm saying. But like I said, little do they know. They're just being used, just like the people in kickball. Like you're not don't get it twisted. You're not good at kickball. You're just being used because you're just better than the last four, right? Don't get it twisted. You gotta know your place sometimes. You just gotta know your place. Like just don't get hype. Like you can't get hype if you're the fifth person. If you're the fifth to last person being chose in kickball, and don't get hype if you're the nerd that's friends with the cool kid, because you're not. You know, it doesn't make you cool. It doesn't make you cool by association. It just makes you the person being used, so the others can get a passing seat. That's all it means. I promise you, that's all it means. Like trust me. So we're gonna have an exam, and then we're gonna have a final, right? And then we're gonna have a final project. After the final project, I promise you, I can put the rest of my money that I have saved up in the bank on the fact that directly after the final project, all the pre-nursing women are gonna cut ties with all the nerdy girls. All the entrepreneurial men are gonna cut ties with all the nerdy men, and I'm gonna be sitting back laughing because trust me, I told you what day is it? It is the 18th today. I'm telling you right now. Mark my words. May 14th, ties are cut. But they don't want to listen to the kid. They don't want to listen to the kid. They don't want to listen to me. So I'm just saying, I seen it all happen. I'm gonna see it all again. You hate to see it happen, but hey, they gonna know. They're gonna know from experience. Don't test me. Do not test the kid. I know what I'm talking about sometimes. Man, I really did suck at kickball. All right, but that's all I got. I really do need to study. It is 11:10 p.m. All right. Um, wouldn't it be ironic if I open up Snap or not Snapchat? If I open up Instagram and they responded, because then the whole point of this video would be uh, unnecessary. But regardless, I thought it was a funny video because I feel like the comparison to kickball was perfect actually. But uh, whatever. Um, that's all I got. So let me go study. This is a shame because I really would have been studying. I would have been done studying by now. Now I'm really. It's gonna be like 2 in the morning, and I'm gonna be trying to figure out natural. What is it? What is it even called? Natural reactivity. I don't care. All right, whatever. Let me go study. All right, peace.